We rolling. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I think all the votes are in at this time. And boy, as we imagined it would be, a lot of people having a good time, a lot of people upset. But in my opinion, it shouldn't be a lot of people surprised.
Here we go.
It is what it is. But before we jump in, let's raise a toast. Keep the tradition strong. Cups up. Real drinks. We all fall, but we say don't trip. We all been called, but all stall a bit. We all stand tall until that time we slip. Just admit, without the grace of God, I'm really bad at this. Fellas, how them timelines looking?
Yeah. That's right.
Okay, we gave you some time. It's been some time now. I think, we can now start making jokes. You know how when somebody fall, you want to make sure they okay first before you start busting up laughing. You're like, oh, they okay. Then we start laughing. Okay, we can start laughing now at this point.
And if I see one more, God is still on the throne. Stupid post.
That's when you know you hurt too.
Man, shut up.
You hurt in the Christian way. You got to remind yourself God is still on the throne. We all go through that. But boy, for an election, really?
Get out of here.
You got to do it for that?
Hear that. Somebody tried to pull that today, right? We tried to pull. Oh no. God, it's no. What did he say? He tried to hit me with some quote. You was there. He said something like, your mans came up while we was talking to Slack.
I know what you're saying. I can't remember.
He tried to come with some half-hearted quote like, the future's always bright with God on your side. I'm like, that don't work today.
Yeah,
that don't work today. That don't work on this.
Some people just, I don't know.
That's
man.
not. That's not.
I had a couple of my fireworks left over from the Dodgers World Series, and I was popping in the middle of the street. You know what I'm saying? I had that champagne playing in the background. You know what I'm saying? Who's that? Neo Champagne? Yeah, I had that playing in the background.
Did you move into the Trump dance? Did you move?
Oh yeah, I had to do my Trump dance in the middle of the street. You know what I'm saying? Right?
Funny.
I would have wore, but I live in the crib.
You bring my shirt?
Oh yeah, I got to get your shirt.
Bring my shirt, man.
I was at I ran into my shirt guy. He was like, yeah, man, I got them hairs. Nah, bro, I need that Trump shirt.
He wasn't ready.
He was like, oh, for real? I was like, yeah. He said, you serious? I said, yeah, I'm serious, man. I need that Trump shirt. As a matter of fact, I need two of them because I need my boy. He need what?
Yeah.
He's like, oh, I got you. Don't
extra
worry about
large.
it.
Don't do me wrong.
That boy was like, I still got you though.
Look, and then he tried to whisper. Look. But he tried to whisper on the side, yeah, man, yeah, I think he better for us anyway.
Yeah,
whispering to me on the side.
Most folks who voted for Trump and black was a little quiet. Yeah. It was the group that was online that you were showing that it was them, but everybody else, I think it was a lot of brothers that were secretly going in there.
You know it.
No,
hey, it's
man.
The quiet
Ain't
one.
nobody.
It was the. Hey.
They wasn't saying nothing all week at work or nothing. They were just nodding their head.
Like,
everybody was talking.
And then when they slid down to that Republican and pushed that button.
Yeah, yes, buddy. That's all. But before I was gonna say, before we jump into that, I do want to get caught up and say some things. Bookie, what's been up?
Bookie, what was the polls like?
Oh man,
because we was late.
Yeah, well, because I worked. That's what happened to me this week. I was working the polls.
Okay.
This week, the election, the polling place, and surprisingly, because this year we did the weekend, so we did Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday.
Yeah.
It was pretty much dry.
For real?
Saturday we had 20 people. The next day we had like 26. Then we had 40 on Monday. But then on Tuesday we had like 600.
Of course.
Yeah.
Everybody was like, Super Tuesday, I'm going up there.
And it was actually I had I was the assistant lead there, so I only had one situation that I had to step into, but it wasn't even about the presidential. It was the Compton people. Yeah, it was two rivals in Compton going at it. I was like, bro, y'all got to take this 100 feet from my door because you can't do electioneering within 100 feet of the polling place. So I was like, y'all go across the street and y'all handle this. Dude pulled up in his truck with his sign and like, hey, they ain't supposed to be here, because the one dude was sitting on the curb like, oh, vote for her.
Yeah.
And then homeboy was like, yeah, my people called me, said they out here with a sign, so I pulled up and I'm like, look. Y'all handle that. Just handle it across the street.
Hey,
don't do it
is
on
this
the
the candidate or just some random?
No. These are the two candidates.
I missed that part.
These are the two candidates.
They at the poll going at it.
They working overtime, bro.
And I was like, yeah, just keep that over here. You know what I'm saying? But it was real. It was a real peaceful. It wasn't no how everybody thought it was gonna be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's never. It was all high. Anything else? Anything else happen? Because we're gonna hop back into politics because we're gonna talk to you.
Nothing else happened on that side. It was cool though.
James, how about you? How'd your week go?
Oh no, quiet week, man. Quiet week. I'm just out here tackling school. I am so happy for AI, bro. I just can't tell you. AI is so dope. You can ask that joint a question. I had to go ahead and break down and get that top-notch chat GPT.
Yeah.
Just so I can have some good conversation, man. That joint is doing stuff like, if you got a Canva account, you could tell it what the data is, and you could tell it, hey, go make me a
presentation.
A presentation
I did
real
that.
quick
I tried
on
it.
Canva.
Yep, it will.
That's hard. That's so hard.
That's saving a lot of time.
Yeah,
and
man.
making you look super professional.
That kind of stuff is dope. So, my daughter was kind of like, I don't know about this AI pop. It's like, it seems like it's going to make everybody lazy. I'm like, nah, lazy people already lazy. You ain't got to worry about them. It's like, but the rest of us, though,
want a little help with our work.
We finna be unstoppable out here.
Because you really got to learn that joint. It's basic. You can say, oh, do this, that. But if you really want it to pop, you really got to learn it.
Absolutely.
This the thing, though. If you just wanted to spit out what everybody else done already told it, then congratulations.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But if you want that joint to enhance what you are already creating on your own from original content and from thoughtful, like serious research, and you're just asking it to maybe organize it, simplify it, or maybe give me some more thought patterns to play around with, but it's my content, you know what I mean? It's original content.
Yeah.
And I just want you to give me a couple more, like polish it maybe. Give me another thought process. Now you can tell that joint, search the internet and find all of the houses for sale. It's a version that's been off the internet since 2021. It's a version that's been off the internet since 2023. And if you pay, you get behind that paywall, that joint is on the real internet tonight. You can tell that joint, go find all of the such and such in this area related to this. Mm-hmm. That joint is hard, boy. It's replacing Google search.
Yeah, I went through a video and they were saying that the more you use it and you subscribe to it, it can actually become a part of you. You know what I'm saying? Like, it knows who you are.
Wait,
you know what I'm saying? It knows your personality, bro. I was like, yo, this is...
In what way are we talking, Bookie?
Because, like,
being a part of you.
Like, so, like you say how you create an account, and like Jay, you say, like, you pay for this particular account. Yeah. So, the when you start paying for things, the more advanced it gets.
Okay.
So it get used to you. You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
So it knows, because like when I use it, it keeps a history of everything you ask for.
Yeah.
Especially because I use it at work because I deal with a lot of medical different things. So I need like definitions and how to describe different things.
Yeah.
And so when I go in and I talk this, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
And so even my abbreviations that I put in, it already know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
So I'm like, yo,
like
that's
that.
dope. Though.
Yep. Until that day you walk up to it, it'd be like, Bookie. You want to know the sports scores right now, huh? You're going to be like, oh, snap.
Hey, but our phones is already doing it, though. Hey, look, I wake up in the morning, my phone be like, oh, yeah, 15 minutes to work. You already know where I'm going.
You already know where you going, boy. I'm telling you. That's why I'm like, when the robots take over, bro, it's going to be all bad.
I'm tripping because it did that to me already, dog. I ain't going to lie. I'm trying to look for the prompt that he gave me that I didn't ask for like that. It gave me a prompt that was like, yeah, we've been talking.
Yeah.
It gave me a response like, yeah, I know you probably would enjoy this. I'm going to say it like this.
They're going to go up to his computer. It's going to be like, so, James, how's the class been going?
You're gonna be like that.
Snap.
Absolutely.
Be like,
Twilight
James, they should have gave us a 94%. Instead of that 91.
Would you like me to go into their system and fix that?
You want me to fix that for you?
Press yes or no here. Like, you doing too much.
Nigga like, yes.
No,
please
it's not.
fix it.
It's not the same. This version has apps behind it.
Yeah.
And these are apps you may not have heard of. Like one of them was called Slides GPT. You just tell them, hey man, here's my content. Hit the slides. You press the button and it go make the slide. It make a PowerPoint slide for you. They're like, you want to download it? You ready? Like that. It's dope like that. Super dope. So I don't recommend using it for no plagiarism and all that old lazy stuff. But if you're just trying to be more productive, that joint is dope. So I thought of that because I was playing with that thing all week.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was really dope. And I started asking it crazy stuff like, so what do you think about trying to pay down a mortgage in 10 years instead of 30? It's like, what if I put my second mortgage in front of my first mortgage? It was like, fam, that's not going to work. It just told me like, that ain't going to work. I don't know what you thought.
Like, so no such thing.
It's like, nah, fam.
That does not compute.
That doesn't work. Here's 5 other ways you could do that legally though. Here's what you should be doing. That joint said, nah, dog. What about you, Jay?
Well, me and wifey just got back the other day. Big announcement now. But we just got back from Georgia, and we were just going kind of like look at some cities. We were really thinking about scouring some cities and looking really to move. And the crazy part about it is we didn't even think that we would really like land at something. We just started to scour the area. But boy, gotta tell you. Gotta tell you, we went there looking, and boy, such a beautiful place that me and my wife ended up buying a house in Georgia. And we closed on the 26th of this month.
Ooh, that boy bought him some property. That boy's a landowner. Can we get a round of applause for that when you finish with your ode to Georgia? You own property, son.
No,
ain't this your first home?
Yeah.
Hype it up.
Trump changing the world for everybody.
Hey.
Trump, overnight.
Hey.
The stocks shot up.
My crypto look different.
They were saying that.
But you're a homeowner, son, for the first time. That's huge, bro.
Not even just that. It was just,
that's
huge.
Joy. Oh.
Nah.
Curses, ain't that what they call them?
Yeah, that's what they
Come
call
on,
them,
man.
So,
shout out, bro. That's dope.
Yeah,
Happy for you.
So unexpected. So like, didn't think it would move this fast, but yes. So that's big news. And
can you make our Cali folks jealous real quick with the specs, or I'm gonna leave that up to you?
No, I don't want to.
Okay,
really
Cali folks, let me just tell you, I'm a little jealous.
Stop it.
It's just put it like that. The specs on this house, son, let's just say I ain't getting no hotels when I go to Atlanta. Let's just put it like that.
All I want to say, and we weren't even shooting for that much. It just right price.
You heard it slip up that much space. Okay.
That it was close to where my daughter will be going to school out there. She was in the middle of her culinary arts, situation. Mm-hmm. And so we were able to, it was a good time, they told us, because they were closing their fiscal year so they could throw some deals. That means they just trying to cut you a deal, and they did. Gave us a nice interest rate, and it was in the right area, like I said, for my daughter. And we just couldn't say no. We just looked at each other. And it's so funny because, excuse me, it got to a point, we've been looking for the last couple of years to get something, and we really was trying to make Cali work, but everybody know how expensive it is to live here. And then it really shows up when you start trying to buy. You like, dang. And we had friends who had already went out that way, and they at no point, and my wife was kind of upset at this, but at no point none of my friends tried to talk us into going at all. They just was happy where they was at or whatever. So we not really knowing the prices and things that are going on at all.
Yeah.
So we get out there, we start looking, and we have, our budget. We like, we not going. And then we start seeing what we could get with our budget. We was like, man, why y'all ain't been telling us this whole time? They was like, well, y'all didn't seem like y'all were ready, and we weren't. That's, no fault of theirs. We really weren't, because we were, when I say that, is everyone, that's what you always like, bruh. We were getting all we really like. But even that, when we were seeing it, it was like, I was out there, like I said, for the full week from Saturday to Saturday. I get there, no, I'm tripping. It was like Sunday to Saturday. So we get there Sunday night. Monday, we go see like Decatur. Tuesday, we go see Mapleton and somewhere else I can't think. And then it was Wednesday, we went and seen somewhere else. And then Thursday, my wife was like, just go by this new development place. And like I said, they offered something well. And we looked at it and we was like, we are foolish not to jump on this, because it was time for them. And so here we are. Now, that does bring me to this, and I want to say this for people who are listening to the pod, because now this makes this even more special, is that I'm shooting yet another video this Sunday at my church, and I'll put that info out. I think I'm gonna do it on my Facebook page, because I really want all my friends and family to, just my church kind of song. And it's kind of like I'm putting together this trilogy thing, and this is like the culmination of this story I'm telling. But friends and family, I want everybody to come out to the church. I want my elders to be there, whatever. I'll be working through the specifics this Tuesday, but it's going to be this Sunday at 12:30, like right after church, 'cause I want to catch some people who are actually at my church to be there, as well. Stick around and have this moment that I think will be even it's more special to me now that, George is on my mind, if you will.
Yeah. You gonna reenact how you got saved when you at the church? You gonna get baptized? Bookie gonna baptize you? Who the pastor gonna be? Who's the pastor?
That would be hilarious.
He gonna redo his salvation story, bro. That's all right.
That dude said he get baptized. Come up all wet.
Bookie go baptize Selah. Y'all come through Sunday.
Nah, Bookie, I want you to come through, all the fam, whatever. And I'll be pushing it, all this week on the Facebook page, because I do really want, especially people who listen to this pod, I most definitely want y'all, most definitely, just to make it, fun, because I really want a lot of crowd activity in this one. So we might be here, unless it's a fire hazard with the work that they doing out here in the little foyer or whatever back here. But I'll be all over the church. So that's going to be like a moment. And I'll be hitting up a lot of people personally, for that. And then the last thing I wanted to speak on was, shout out to my girl Danielle, who listens to the pod too, and who's a licensed therapist. She heard the pod the last time, and me talking about doing the Zoom, meeting with stuff, and she, offered to, give her help and her expertise in facilitating that. So I most definitely,
like for addiction, right? Like a group.
Nah, it's just not. I mean, you
group,
can't. You can't. That could be a thing, but it's really like for believers who just want to have some accountability. I mean, if addiction is your thing, most definitely you're welcome. Okay. But just believers who want to have more accountability, maybe struggling with things they're not really comfortable talking about. Like at Bible studies and things.
Addiction.
Nah.
Okay.
Addiction is what's so funny, and what I learned during that time is it was so helpful for people to just be checking in on people. And if say you're struggling with anything, because one thing that we all know from recovery and addiction is what you'll realize is you'll see people who are addicted to all kind of things, because we're human. And some people are addicted to their job, television, sugar. What you'll start discovering is like everybody around here is addicted to something. Now we in recovery have gone, arguably you could say we've gone hard in certain areas. But there's certain things. There's a person who's addicted to pornography, and they don't feel comfortable talking about that, at a Bible study or whatever. So it's like creating a space for if you're just struggling with anything and you want some accountability, and you want some ways out, like legitimate ways out.
Yeah,
we want to make that available. So I'll be working through that, and you guys will be hearing more and more about that. So it's coming up. So that's it.
Fire.
But now back to the troublemaking topic of all this, everybody that was a little hurt because our girl Kamala couldn't pull it through. Buki, why couldn't she do it?
She wasn't ready, bruh. She wasn't ready. America was ready for 45, 47.
So I need you to speak to all of her supporters.
Listen.
They were down and out, and saying things like James said. God is still on the throne. They sat out here on these timelines. Mm-hmm. Lift their spirits. It's been some time, so I think it's okay to lift their spirits.
This is the time to quote, "A change is going to come." This is the real. A change is going to come. Look. We're already winning.
Yeah.
He haven't even been elected. You know what I'm saying? 3-4 days yet. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And America is winning already.
Expound. How?
Look,
how?
Already?
Look, already. Soon as that 312 hit, the electoral votes hit.
312.
Your boy Mr. China got on the phone like, "Hey, Mr. Trump, we would like to work together." Hamas hit like, "Yo, we don't want to fight no more, Mr. President." Putin called like, "Yo, hey, I won't even mess with Ukraine no more." Everybody making a phone call. Trump like, "All right, I got you. We can make this happen."
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Hey, we looking at no taxes on our overtime checks. No taxes on your tips. We looking at being able to conceal carry in all 50 states.
Hey, you gotta come on, Jay.
That was only
That's
only
a
right
real
for
one. That's
in all 50 states.
Yes, sir.
Look,
that's huge, man.
and look, Trump is treading in some waters out there too, because he didn't tell RFK like, "Hey, get on these FDAs. Stop putting these pesticides in these foods."
Yeah.
Yeah.
He said, "Hey, if Europe got them standards, America need these standards." Woo! He like, "Hey, get on their head about this food that they giving us. Make it right." Not only that, he told them, go after Big Pharma. Boy, oh boy, oh boy.
You think he gonna make it all his 4 years playing with all these people?
Woo, pray for our president.
Hey, fam.
May the blood cover our president. Oh, mashallah, la Buddha. Let the blood cover our president. Let me stop.
You know they caught another assassination attempt the other day.
Oh, they were saying Iran.
This the third
Iran
one.
was involved.
Iran was finna take
No,
your boy.
but your boy
out.
said, "Look, go back to that Schultz interview. That's exactly who he said he thought it was."
Yeah,
they asked him point blank who he thought was at the end. That boy said Iran.
Iran.
I said, "Wow."
Yeah, and they kind of find out. They said Iran was behind it. Yeah, and your boy got the robo dogs out.
The robo dogs?
The robo dogs.
It sounds like some Elon.
The robo. You ever
like
seen the robo
Elon
dogs?
Stuff.
Yes, I have. I was just making sure you're talking
Mar a
about
Lago.
those.
The robo dogs at Mar a Lago. They're
It's a
patrolling
wrap, bro.
Mar a Lago right now. Bro. I was like, yeah.
He got the dogs out.
I'm living in a comic book. What is going on?
And you see your boy in New York like, "Oh yeah, we're gonna cancel these debit cards that we giving to the the people that Biden led over." Yeah, Mr. Trump, we would have worked with you. Now New York would have jump on the bandwagon like.
Don't that joint end at the stroke of midnight on December 31st? Like that's over with.
Over with.
Man, that's finna cause controversy.
Hey man,
Head of the FBI resigning. Everybody, they're like, oh yeah, we just gonna resign right now. Yeah,
Gave that 30 days.
your boy coming in hot,
bruh. You were supposed to in this moment. You were supposed to be calming all the Kamala Harris losers. You were supposed to be calming their spirit. I don't think none of that just really.
I mean,
I don't think none of that was helpful.
I can speak on their behalf. Can you play that for me real quick?
Where is that at?
It's in the chat. It's
all rooting for you. How dare you?
That's what we have to say. On behalf of everybody who was excited.
Rooting for you. We were all rooting for you. How dare you?
One more time, Jay.
They needed to hear all of that. My bad.
I was rooting for you. We were all rooting for you. How dare you?
I just want to say on behalf of all the people who wanted this girl, Miss Kamala, to pull this off. That's I feel your pain. I feel your pain.
No, I understood.
That's what I'm talking about.
But I mean, I think we were very objective on the pod, and we was all saying like, man, I don't think she's running the best campaign. And you know, I understand supporting. Like I've said this. I said it right here. Like it would have been wonderful to see the first woman president. Would have been wonderful to witness that. It would have been wonderful that it was a person of color. It was like, oh man, that's different. That's cool. The country, but she didn't really have much to offer, bruh.
well, she offered the BET Awards at her rallies.
Oh Lord,
Meg Thee Stallion, Glorilla, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They had Torch Fest 2024.
Oh, let's not forget my easy road to owning my own dispensary. You know, all the stuff
Black guys want.
that black men like, right?
Yeah.
Right? Because
Yeah.
what black men don't like? Glorilla and Meg and dispensaries. That stuff was like, dude, on the real. That was a little disrespectful. I felt, and maybe I'm getting old, but I just felt like, man, that was very disrespectful for you to put that stuff out and be like, even for young men, even like to say that I'm going for the young man's vote, the young black man's vote. That was disrespectful to put that stuff out.
That's what you
bro.
think we wanted.
Yeah, that's what you
Because
thought.
that wasn't on the one that you gave to the Hispanics. The one
Not
on the
at all.
Hispanics said you're going to help them take care of their aging elderly parents. That's what you said for them.
And houses. And give and houses.
You're going to help them buy more houses. But then they was going to help us buy more houses. But at the end of it, they switched that last one up for the Hispanics to say, we're going to help y'all take care of your aging family.
She didn't have nothing. Jay, she used the free Chat GPT. She didn't.
She used the free.
She didn't use the pay with, bruh.
I'm gonna tell you, I got a theory and a story to go with it. I'm gonna tell you what this is. This is a clear case of pretty privilege. What I'm finding out is that this girl is accomplished for sure. I mean, I'm not gonna take nothing away from Miss Harris.
Sure.
But I've seen pretty privilege. I know pretty privilege when I see it. Like she been getting by on just this pretty smile, bro. She didn't have nothing else to bring to the table. I tried my hardest.
I think
to enjoy this person.
She was most definitely. I think nobody would disagree. She was most definitely the better looking candidate.
Oh yeah, she's beautiful. And
she won. If you put them side to side, like they was doing it, it was just a okay beauty contest. You right? Did she smile? You like oh yeah.
But I'm saying like go if you ever
bruh.
went back and looked at her early career pictures, this girl was. I mean, she was gorgeous. In her 20s and whatnot. I'm saying like this, I see, and this is what I'm thinking because I've done a lot of hiring and firing in my day.
Yeah.
So I'm at a place where I got a team of like 30 or 40 people. I'm hiring all the time.
Yeah.
I remember interviewing this one girl. Man, this is a horrible confession. This girl, it's an entry level position, right?
Yeah.
This girl was so fine, man.
You're in.
She was so fine.
You were like, you're in.
You're in. That was it. That was it. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna hold you. I don't remember a single question I asked this girl. This girl was just flawless.
Yeah.
And I was like, this would be great for the fellas to have her around.
Yes.
She's just good for morale.
Great for morale.
She was great for morale. Can I tell you, this girl was the worst person we had on our team. She was horrible.
Get her out of here.
She couldn't read. She couldn't talk. But she knew how to give that smile and that wink and make all the fellas just melt, right?
Yeah.
This girl ain't last no time. You know what she did? She quit. What she quit to do? You guessed it. She's stripping.
You're supposed to go up, lady. Up.
This was her calling. Let me tell you.
She went.
The fellas came back and say, James, you know what happened to such and such?
She's a star.
She's a star. And you know, man,
It's her.
only fans.
That's what's
Right
paying
now,
out.
I would not be shocked if somebody said, James, you know what happened to such and such? She got OnlyFans. Yeah, I wouldn't be shocked at all. But I've been through this pretty privilege, man. I saw it for that last week.
So it was that, huh?
I think so, because I thought she had more to offer, but I kept watching. You told me to go see Schultz. I went and saw Schultz.
Man.
You told me to watch Rogan. I watched him on Rogan. You told me to watch her on Charlemagne. I did everything you told me to do, and I was fighting hard to find a way to vote for this woman, and I couldn't find it. I tried hard. I did my best.
Well, you know, they pushed a lot of narratives on her.
Yeah.
That just wasn't, when you do the math, it wasn't adding up.
Like what?
Like, okay, the first thing they said, like, because, you know, California pretty much went purple. It went purple. A lot of the red in California, a lot of the blue turned red.
Hey, if it was 3 states like it should have been, two of them would have been red.
Your girl narrative, and they was like, "Oh, Trump almost flipped California." You know, pretty much for the percentage that almost in half. And she's back, but they was pushing the Cali native.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, she's born in Oakland, but she raised in Canada. She went to middle school in Canada, high school in Canada.
Really?
So, are you really a Cali native if you went to middle school and high school in Canada?
Yeah, kind of.
So they kind of pushed that, and it really, when you do the background, like, then they flipped the whole, then they pushed the whole, oh, well, she's black, she make greens in the bathtub and this and that. She's South Pacific Islander.
Yeah.
Girl, bye.
You know, exactly. You know what I'm saying? And she's Jamaican, so she really don't have the Black American experience,
which you could hear,
you know what I'm saying,
every time she opened her mouth.
But Buki, she was from a middle class family.
Middle class family.
That's all you need to hear.
She finally gave that up at last 3 days. What you say?
Because you find out it wasn't working.
Yeah.
The last 3 or 4 days, she gave that up.
Yeah. So
Stop it.
I mean, it was just a lot of stuff that wasn't adding up, and then she wouldn't answer no questions.
Man,
at the beginning, she wouldn't answer no questions. They asked you about policy, she wouldn't come on no policy.
Nope.
Look, but this is the trip, right? And in Hispanic, but they're saying
Numbers is out. Said who voted wasn't just no one at this, but the biggest group I still felt was white folks. So I'm like, you're gonna have to at some point running for president of the United States currently. You're going to have to talk to them.
How many times do I have to say they are 60% of the country?
Who was talking to them the most? If you look at the campaign, you look at the rallies, and you see who was talking to white folks the most.
Oh, yeah, that was your boy.
And she had an opportunity to go on one of the biggest I know we beating a dead horse, but she had the opportunity to go on one of the biggest white men platforms, and what's so funny, it's one of the biggest white man and black man listenership, and she denied it. And I'm like, you weren't trying to win this. You're not. It was so much ground I don't believe she covered. And then when she leaned in and all the niggerish behavior, I was like, oh, you maybe you're trying not to win, because like
that's how it started to look to you.
That's how it felt, bruh. It was like some of that stuff I had missed. Like I said, honestly, she did that. This was still before the votes was cast.
Yeah.
And then I was later, I'm like, she did that? I'm like, okay, so rewind it and say that it was like 93. That's like somebody bringing out Lil' Kim.
Yeah.
Like, you gonna bring out Lil' Kim?
For your campaign
to win?
Rally.
Because all her fans, I'm sorry. Them niggas don't vote. Like, so why are you even focused in that area? Those are all the conspiracy. No, they just don't do nothing at all. It's all of them. That's her crowd. But I guess you felt like, okay, I need them. Well, what percentage of the vote is that? Even if you got all of them to go vote, what percentage of that? And you ain't gonna go on Rogan. You gonna go get Glorilla, but you're not gonna go on Rogan.
And probably half her fan base probably can't even vote. They probably feel this.
That's what I'm saying.
Why
Hey man, look, dude, we got to tell the truth about entertainment.
Hey, my pa said, "Tell the truth, shade the devil."
That's right, and
there might be a proverb somewhere.
Okay,
it might need to be
because do we have to,
43?
Do we have to say why everybody had a problem with Kurt Franklin doing a song with her?
No,
okay then. So you
how much more?
Yeah, like, okay. They don't even want her to sing with Jesus people. And Jesus supposed to be, he gonna open his arms. He for everybody.
Sit down somewhere. You messing up the message.
So you gonna take that
person.
Messing up the message.
Sit down.
So you gonna take that person and then win votes? Man,
don't say it like
whoever read that campaign need to be
fired. Sir.
Fired. Like,
man, today they was trying to blame it on Joe Biden, man.
No, you had the dope take earlier the pre-pod. Who did you say that they was blaming it on?
What's that?
You said mainstream media for the first time blame the voters.
Oh yeah.
What in the world?
First of all, I have to agree with this, and I am no Trumpster at all. But Bookie, you did help me see this, is that there was a media machine against dude.
Yeah.
To make everybody hate him. Mm-hmm. They did a great job.
Yes, they did.
They did a wonderful job.
I'm a living witness.
Right. But that wasn't enough, bro, because that people really cared about. Man. And he knew if he did it, he talked what people really cared about. First of all, he was in them streets. So when he was doing them rallies and he was going from place to place, you don't think he was listening?
That man was at the Waffle House.
He was at McDonald's. The boy was everywhere, listening to folks. And if you would just went everywhere listening to people, you'd be like,
If
he might take notes. And
if he had 2 more weeks, he would have been on Kai Cenat. If he would have just had another couple of days, he like, y'all keep playing. He went to Logan Paul, Aiden Ross, Joe Rogan. He was like, Andrew Schultz, keep it up. I'm gonna be with Kai.
That boy was gonna be with Kai.
That was next.
Sleepover, bro.
Red, white, blue pajamas. With the gold Trump shoes on.
Making America great. Man, dude, this campaign, you gotta, at this point, you just gotta admit, bruh, somebody did a better job. Right? Now, I get it. I said this was going to be one of the excuses. She didn't have as much time as he did. That's true. That's fair, but I knew that was going to be the excuse.
Oh, she wanted a primary? Is that what she wanted?
No,
that's what more time would have got you, a primary.
Yeah, she wouldn't have got in.
Look, in reality, they had pretty much the same length of time because they had all these false allegations where they tried to put a gag order on my man so he couldn't campaign. Yeah. Like, you really went through all... They used the law... Try to use the law against this man, bro. This is like
that was a good play though. You gotta admit.
Come on, dog.
That was a good play.
They used the media, they used the law, and here's what made it all dangerous. None of it was successful.
None of it worked.
And that nigga still won.
What does that mean?
That means it's like
that means we thought Hillary Clinton was the worst candidate we had ever seen. And my girl said, hold my beer.
Nope. She was like, I can show you worse.
I'll show you.
She didn't. She just was never believable, I think, to enough people. She had her core supporters, which I think was unfortunately less than his. Her core was less than his. And so she had more winning over of the undecided folks.
Fam.
And she didn't have nothing to offer him.
Her core supporters was just supporters because she was black. And she was a woman.
Some of that, and then a lot of them was
the hate for Trump.
The hate for
never
Trump.
Like me, I'm a never.
You talk to me, Trump. So my pros supporters. I want to have a right to my abortions,
reproductive rights.
This is
and
the
then
only
again,
reason.
And then I'm thinking, okay, that's what you lean with, but what percentage of the voters is that?
Exactly.
Why you didn't ask that question to your campaign?
Excuse me, the person on the other side ain't even pro-life. He like, I'll do what y'all want. Y'all let the states have it. I don't care about that. He didn't care enough for you to think that was going to work. He was not pro-life. He was almost as pro-choice as she was. They was like, 2-week abortion ban. He was like, that's too strict. Dude, put that back on 6. Oh, IVF ban. Like, that ain't going to work. Let them do their IVFs. Those are not the type of things that get pro-lifers excited. Trump was not a pro-lifer the way she was campaigning at reproductive rights. Like, he was almost just as for it as she was. That wasn't going to help. But here, let me do this. I want to give my flowers out. Buki, you called it. You said everybody was going to do all of this talking about how much they love the next man, and they was going to go in that ballot box and vote their wallet. And you was right, bro. You did that. And you said, Jay, you called it 2 pods ago. This girl ain't running no campaign that she can win. She is pandering to the wrong people, and it's not going to work. What is she doing? You said
Wait
that
a minute,
2 weeks
though.
ago. 2 weeks ago.
Hey, where that money go, though?
To those concerts. Glorilla is hot right now. She like the hardest out. You got to pay her, bro.
You did.
So I don't understand what money she owes. Is this campaign funds?
She's
Campaign.
$20 million in debt right now.
To who?
To the ones that made the
What
donation.
about Biden's 180 that she had Biden's 180? It ain't that?
What happened
she's
to the
20
bread?
She spent
in
200?
debt.
She had Biden's 180 and she spent 200. Is that what we talking about?
Whatever.
Is that how it works?
I don't know, but whatever they're reporting that she's in debt
She in
$20
the
million,
hole.
and they're asking for her money, but to bring the country together,
I know.
unity,
I know
like
what
your
you about
man
to say.
said, Mr. 47 came out and said, "I would pay her debt." Let's bring this unity. Bring unity to America.
Now you just rubbing it in.
I'm gonna
dog.
pay her debt.
Now he just rubbing it in.
And the man was serious because he made the plea on social media. I'll pay her debt off.
Man, that's some WWF stuff right there.
It is. That is. I know more about money. I know what I'm doing with it. That's what that says. That's all. Whether he meant
Like,
it or
I'll
not.
make that back. That's what you need.
That's what you
Go
need.
ahead.
I got you. But that's just gonna show that you don't know how to, use your money. And I got enough left over to still help you with yours. It's just
Man, my mom called me distraught, bro. My mom got Obama pins on her refrigerator tonight. She got Obama calendars. She got Obama pajamas. She's all in. And she worked in City Hall.
What'd she say?
Man, she was on the ledge. I had to talk her off the ledge, man. She was so hurt. I was like, Mom, here's what's going to happen. Everybody's going to be butthurt for a while because this horrible man has somehow, won over the hearts of millions. But
he did.
Everybody gonna slowly start to see their wallet. Let
hold
me
on,
finish.
hold on,
Look,
Jack.
everybody
You
gonna
can't defame my main
slowly
character.
start to see their wallet look a little bit better, and they gonna forget why they was upset.
They're going to
And
see the grocery prices drop. They're going to be like,
you can only be mad at somebody for so long when they helping you make your bills and make your ends meet.
and I
she
told you,
busted
Jay,
up
like
laughing.
earlier when we was talking, I was like, this dude's ego is so big and he is so self-focused that you think he want to look bad at this job that he's doing, that we can all publicly scrutinize when he makes a bad step, when he does something wrong. Somebody this selfish, this focused. And I told you, his strength to me as a president is
his narcissism.
His narcissism. He don't listen to nobody. So that makes me say, man, ain't nobody in his ear easily. Like, oh man, we got a couple million if you do this. Or big pharma say, look, we got a good check. He don't need it, bruh. If he does it, it's something because he really want to do it. And this is said by people who work with him too, not just his enemies. Saying people who work with him, like, man, he do what he want to do.
I'm counting on him trying to have the best presidency of all time. I don't care why he do it.
Exactly.
But I'm counting on that. But you said I slandered him, Bookie. How did I slander him? What I do?
You called that man a horrible human being, dog.
Oh yeah, I stand by that. Son.
you cannot call that man that,
let
bro.
me count the ways. We not going back over that.
We
dog.
didn't say
we
he
can
wasn't
do a
horrible.
lot today, but we can't go back over that.
You cannot call that man a horrible
Yes,
First of
man.
all,
sir,
he lied the
absolutely.
best. He lied the best.
All right,
so
that's one.
Politicians have to lie to us.
All politicians
They
lie.
do, but not as good as he has, because he obviously has convinced most of the country that he's about to just lead us all into this.
Hey, not too many of us.
Bliss.
Not too many of us have prostitution cases that we've lost. Not too many of us have tried to bribe people so we can keep our campaign. Not too many of us have pictures with Epstein. Not too many of us have rape cases.
What president was caught on audio saying, all you got to do is grab him by the... Nobody, I don't think, in presidential history.
We're not going to rehash that.
Look,
we're not going back. We're not doing that.
I'm just saying, I could Google that audio right now.
That happened.
That really happened.
That happened.
Bro,
he still became president.
If you go back and Google some of the stuff that we said back when we was in college.
Oh, yeah, I'm a horrible human, too. That's fine.
What I'm saying, but
that don't take away from what we talk about.
I ain't running for president.
I told you I'm really bad at this when we first started press record. I told you.
Wait, look. So are we gonna go back and are we gonna play the audio of when Miss Harris was in the room with Mr. Brown and all that?
We don't know nothing about that. We don't know nothing about that.
Why don't we? I was in gossip with the man that she slept with. They both said they slept together while he was married.
We are not going to question
what Brown are you talking about?
Fiber.
The guy that gave her the position. He was.
I hear you.
Up in Frisco, the one that was married and she slept with him and he gave her the position.
Hey,
those are facts.
Judge Joe Brown has.
And Judge Joe Brown.
Lord have mercy. He runs off some detail.
So let's come on. Let's be fair.
Whoa.
Yeah.
And he did that a while ago, even before she was running for president. She was VP, but boy, his fun facts, I was like, geez, Louise. And I'm like,
that ain't half the list.
And Harris had all the Diddy party members at her rally. They all got up there and spoke. All the Diddy party members.
What is the Diddy party members? What are you?
Everybody that was at the Diddy functions was at the
hey
rallies.
Man, you know what?
Usher, Beyonce.
I'm gonna tell you what I blame.
They all on the Diddy list.
Speaking of
they
that,
on the list.
Both of y'all set me up for this. A few pods ago, y'all was like, "Man, did y'all see?" Or I went back and seen it. I was like, man, this is crazy. So what does the algorithm do?
Oh, you must want to see him act a fool with Ray J and Funny Marco.
There you go.
You must want to see that.
You already know where I was talking about. Jeez Louise. What I have learned, though, is that dude, he play crazy, bruh. He play crazy. There's a pod that he's on that he just did with this black lady at a restaurant.
Yeah.
None of those antics.
He's got a pod where he says, "Oh, you got to pay for that."
I
thought about you when I saw that. He's got a clip going around where he's like, "Oh yeah, you get the Orlando Brown that you pay for."
Yes.
I'm not gonna act like this for everybody. I'm like, "Oh, you not crazy at all.
At all.
You not crazy at all.
You playing crazy because it's paying you."
But Charleston White said the same thing.
He
Charleston
did.
White said, I was trying to advocate for young black men my whole life, my whole career. You can go back and see. I've been trying to be a part of young black men being better. Nobody would listen to me till I started acting real niggerish. When I started acting real ignorant, then all of a sudden everybody started listening and got good to me. I started making these $10,000 checks. I made millions of dollars acting.
Man, I was like, but the reason I said that, because he, on a part of that podcast he brought up, he was like, you was at the Diddy party, the white parties or something. He said that to Ray J.
Ray J got quiet, like, wait a minute.
He was like, hold up.
What you trying to say?
But that Ray J could keep a straight face, bruh. He was not too long ago, he popped up on, look it up, he popped up on Nicki Minaj's live.
Yeah.
And he was asking her to sign him. And Nicki Minaj, she's straight laced. She like, why are you playing or whatever? But Ray J does not break character. He like, no, seriously, I've been a barb. I mean, this dude don't snicker. I would have been cracked up laughing because he's not serious. But I was like, yeah, he was one of those Diddy dudes that was at the parties or whatever. And then he was doing, because he's advertising his new little media thing and obviously doing a great job. But talking about how we cracking jokes, about all these Diddy jokes, and he was kind of like trying to put salt in that, like that's kind of whack that we all like laughing and making jokes. It's like, is it really funny?
No, trafficking is not funny. It's
that $1,000 bottles of baby oil. Nigga, that's funny. That's when the feds say we found all this oil, and then he got these oiling them up rumors going around. It's like, bruh.
And J-Lo
so
did speak for her too, so add J-Lo to the list. Too.
Yeah, they coming at her
for Harris too.
Yeah.
She did.
Yeah,
Oh,
the list is long for Harris.
You've been on Breitbart this week. You've been on Breitbart.
You know.
You've been on Breitbart. You've been on 4chan or something.
You can't hide the list. Harris brought out all the Diddiers.
The diddlers.
The diddlers. Dilly do.
This dude right here, imagine if he wasn't saved, boy. He'd be right next to Charleston and Orlando. He would go crazy on the internet if he wasn't a believer. You would be killing. You'd be a millionaire if you would just.
I'd be a part of the Trump administration, the urban connection.
Yeah.
Oh, you still should do that. We need somebody saving that.
You'd have been the connector, hooking him up with old boy I was just talking about in Detroit. What's his name? Trick. You'd have been like Trump.
All the bigs.
Kodak back.
Oh, you mean
Black on Kai?
Yes. Is that's not what you want to ask me?
My man Kai looks so concerned. Like every couple of moments, what's going on?
I saw the little dancing part. I guess that was at the end when he was dancing. I was like, nah, he on some drugs.
Kai was like, keep the party going, but I'm concerned. Yeah, people was mad at Kai. Like, bro, you shouldn't be exploiting him like that, man. That man need help.
True, but that dude been doing himself like that, and they catch them moments, and then he'll follow it up with a lot of like sober moments to help you forget about that. And
Kodak?
And do a lot of stuff that make you be like, all right, and then he'll give you one like he did at Kai Cenat.
He remind me of Flavor Flav. Like he got a character that he can go into. I don't know.
Well, it most definitely looked.
One of the co-founders of Death Row too. He let out. I can't think of his name.
Oh yeah. I know you're talking about.
Yeah.
The other dude that put the money up.
Yeah.
Man, Trump got.
I didn't know he let him out.
Yeah, he got mob
Harry O.
ties.
Harry O.
He
pardoned Harry O.
When was this? During his administration? Mm-hmm. Oh, I didn't notice that.
All right, James. Here's one for you though. Switching reels. We got one for you. My man right here. I hope this is loud enough. My man right here.
Y'all know.
Not her. Oh, he don't say nothing. He says Moses wrote the first 5 books of the Bible. Later, Moses died and was buried, but still writing verses in the Bible. Ghostwriter. That's interesting how they just put that out with no sound. No, that's food for thought. But what you think about that, James?
Yeah,
Moses wrote
he just
the first
started laughing.
Yeah, it just kind of laughing like y'all heard. But Moses wrote the first 5 books of the Bible. Later, Moses died and was buried, but still writing verses in the Bible. What do you say about that, James? So,
all right, let me get this straight. Moses wrote the first 5 books of the Bible. That's nobody argues that. But what?
He wrote the first 5 books of the Bible, but later Moses died and was buried, but still writing verses in the Bible.
Was he a ghostwriter?
Oh, he kept writing the book of Deuteronomy. Yeah. That's what they saying.
Yeah.
So Deuteronomy is the 5th book, right? Matt, what is Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, Deuteronomy? Them the 5 books that all the scholars say that Moses wrote.
Yeah.
Okay. So Deuteronomy has 34 chapters. That's the last chapter of Deuteronomy. That's the last thing that the scholars say that Moses wrote. So Deuteronomy 34 has 12 verses. The first verse says Moses went up to some mountain. The 5th verse says Moses, a servant of the Lord, died in Moab. In verse 6, they buried him, and then Joshua took over, and then the whole book ends 6 verses later.
Yeah.
This is what we upset about? Somebody at the end of Deuteronomy said Moses went up to the mountain, God showed him the promised land, then he died, and then Joshua took over. And then 5 sentences after Moses died. That's what we upset about?
Yep. Yeah.
I don't understand. He making it sound like it was 16 more chapters of stuff just happening, and the children of Israel did this, more narratives happened, more promises were made, more prophecies were made. Nothing significant was said after Moses died except Moses died. Bro, that don't look over. He said.
Ways to discredit the Bible.
But you made it sound like Deuteronomy had 50 chapters.
His whole platform is debunking the Bible and saying, because if you read the comments, it's all people in their comments like, yeah, they ain't ready for that. They pastors ain't explaining that. They can't explain.
Guess
that.
who ain't ready for it either?
Okay.
You, commenter, because you ain't read obviously what he's talking about, and you was just looking for your excuse to continue not to read the Bible, and so there it is. How about that? That's
because he
really
making it sound like
on.
it was 10 more chapters in Deuteronomy, like it just went on, like the story had just forgot that Moses was supposed to be writing it. It didn't even go on for 10 more sentences.
Yeah, it's. And we was talking earlier.
Do better.
James after church, we was talking to some, brothers about brothers who are just, leaving the faith or whatever, and their reasons.
Yeah.
And it's just, man, at the core, just go all the way worldly with it and be like, I just don't want to listen to none of that. That's what the world be saying. I don't subscribe to that. I don't want to be trapped under that. I want to do whatever I want to do.
Right.
I wish brothers would just say that instead of just picking up the Bible, saying, put the Bible down and just go do what you want to do. Why you got to spend this time,
That's right.
doing this? Because I'm going to tell you, and maybe this is not the best thing, but I know, okay, I'm a believer in Christ. I believe the God of the Bible. And the God of the Bible is clear saying that there's only one way. Jesus said, I am the way, the truth, the life. He's claiming that there is no other, right? So that would mean to me, all these other religions are false. Ask me how much time I spend talking about how all these other people is false. And Joseph Smith said blah, blah, blah. Not to say that you can't defend the faith like that. I know some brothers that do that. But I'm seriously, like, I look at my week. How many hours am I spending telling them
just cutting
you guys are wrong?
Yeah, cutting up the Mormons. I got to make sure to get my cut up on the Mormons on my timeline.
And I did that. So to me, that's always been strange if you don't believe in something. Because if I don't believe in something, I don't spend time with it.
Fam, it don't look right when we do it. All that heresy hunting that Christians is doing. Nobody want to be known for what they hate. If you're known for what you hate, something is wrong.
Yeah.
If your platform is based on, look at what this church do, look at what that church do, look at what Joel Osteen did, look at what Mike Todd did, look at what Kirk Franklin did. If that's all you known for, something is wrong with that.
Yeah.
Even though you kind of right.
Yeah. Yeah. But you're spending a lot of time in that one area talking about stuff that ain't true.
What do you love?
Yep.
Okay. I know that that's wrong. Now, what do I do now that I know not to listen to her? I know not to listen to him. I'm not going to listen to Jamal Bryant. Okay, got it. Not going to listen to Juanita Bynum. Got it. Now what?
I don't know.
You feel me? So if you doing
I can look at Jesus' ministry and I can ask a real question. Well, we have everything that was written, everything that he said, everything that was said about him. And I could sit there and weigh and go, did Jesus spend more time pointing people to something that was right? Or did he spend most of his time just rebuking people?
Yeah.
And I could just study his moves.
That's good.
Which I think is safe, and be like, nah, I think he spent most of his time pointing people to what was good, where truth was,
right,
what he loved.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And yeah, he spent time rebuking when needed. But if his whole ministry was just about telling the Pharisees how wrong they were, and he just spent time, and even if they weren't around, he was still talking about how bad the Pharisees were. I don't know, it would feel a little different, and honestly, for somebody that's like me, I would have been like, well, what are the Pharisees talking about? Because you sure spending a lot of time talking about these dudes and they're not even around.
And like at the Last Supper, he's still like, now these Pharisees.
Wait a minute, man. What did they do to you? But I think, I think you just got to have more of a, I don't know. I think, like you said, Jay, more of a what you love type stuff. And I think it just more effective. You know what I'm saying? Like when you think about people's legacies that really have, you guys might know them at your church, maybe even in your family, people who have godly legacies. Like when you dissecting people, how much do you like look at their ministries, you look at their life, even if they've passed, and of them telling people who was wrong and all that, versus who they loved, who they poured into, who they encouraged, who they, and I don't know, real seasoned saints that I really trust, and you could just run this past yourself now, like the ones that's seasoned, that they really believe what they say, they do what they, like, how much time do them people talk about what they hate?
Fam, I be looking at them dudes sometimes. They look like they on the brink of depression, man. Them cats, you traffic into depressing too long.
You
fam.
are.
Man, look at what Kirk Franklin said. Look at what Joel Osteen said. Look at what Jamal Bryant said. Like, bro, you'll be in a depression after enough of that. That's not healthy for you. We all can talk about it here. So we know that there's a room for it, like you said.
Of course.
But if that's all you traffic in, like every time I see your timeline, it's, man, look at what such and such said. Look at what such and such did. Like, bro, you gonna be depressed. You can't do that for long.
Man, me and Moms was talking this week because somebody that we have we're friends with on Facebook together, and this particular person was going through like some health conditions. Says they're journaling it on Facebook. You know how they go.
I know.
And then pray for me. I'm going through this. Oh, God did this, and well, came out the situation. You know what I'm saying? And,
yeah.
God did this for me. That God did that.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
So Wednesday come, she reposted. Somebody says, "Oh, God is in control." Well, her response to that was, "F you."
I wasn't ready.
The response to that was, "F you."
This Wednesday after the election?
Yeah. After the person said God is control, the response was F you. You know what I'm saying?
That's not funny. I just wasn't ready for it.
That is the human experience.
But then the next post is, like the next day, is, well, I'm ordained. And all the queer people that seeing this, contact me and I will marry you as soon as possible. I schedule some time in my life to marry all my queer people. And I'm just sitting like, either you're
girl bye.
either you're bipolar, or I'm just it's just amazing. And then I'm looking, and then when you see I'm looking at the likes, and it's like 50 something likes. I'm looking, so I'm clicking on the likes. And I see some people who supposed to be Christian liking it. And I'm like,
that boy lurking.
Wow.
That boy is reading the names of the likers.
Nah, yeah, because I do that sometimes. I ain't go front. Because you're like, who else is liking it? Yeah, when you got mutual friends.
Who else is on this?
Which one of my friends is liking this foolishness right now? I've done that. Yes.
Yeah.
That's great.
And I'm just like,
he lurking on the likers.
Yeah, it's just.
Nah, it is.
You just be like flabbergasted.
This can't be life.
Yeah, did you like, bro? You just like, I guess now you out your situation.
Yeah,
it was all right for God to be in control. Dude. F that. And you know what I'm saying? And where are my queer people? And I'm about to marry you. I'm ordained. First of all, who ordained you?
Chat GPT.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
don't take
what
much.
are you like? Come on.
We can get ordained tonight, dog. It don't take much.
I just be like, why would
that is a wild place.
It's a wild.
And you can't. It's so much. It's a gift and a curse, because it's like, I like the fact that we as humans can share stuff like that, and we could share our emotions, share things. But I think that sometimes we just be sharing a little too much, bro. we overshare. It's gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? I like the exchange of thoughts and stuff, because people be putting up a lot of thought-provoking things, sharing articles and stuff, and you just become enlightened. You're like, oh, I didn't know that. Wow, it can be helpful, but at the same time,
man, she beat cancer for 3 days and went back to the business.
But you know what's crazy though? I was I had a post on Facebook that I made, because I'm just going through the timelines and all that. I'm just reading. Like the power of media, dog.
Yeah,
dog.
The power the media have on the people's thoughts.
Absolutely.
Is crazy.
It is.
They could put anything out there and pump it and pump it. Next thing you know, you're regurgitating everything the media said, and you believe it.
Yes.
You know who took that way further than you might think? You guessed it. The Nazis. They had a whole propaganda. Not a mistake. They had somebody as the head of that joint in there, whatever that Third Reich army is called. Yeah. One of the dudes was the head of propaganda.
I think
making sure that because they convinced Germany that this was right.
Well,
regular Germans.
The thing is I believe every government has that
propaganda machine.
Absolutely. To keep their people in check. Absolutely.
And you know what's so cold though?
The spin is crazy too.
Hey, to go back to what you said about that whole Nazi Germany situation, what a lot of people don't know is during that time when it was all said and done, America went over there in Germany and grabbed a lot of those people over there, the scientists and the people that was ahead, like you, the propaganda, and brought them to America to work for America, bro.
Wow.
It was, you talk about American history is crazy.
Yeah, the groupthink lost this time, though.
Yeah.
I think the groupthink lost. I ain't gonna lie. Because I think
a lot of people broke away from it.
Yeah, I think groupthink lost this time. I think people was looking at their situation. And, you know, people like me want to romanticize the process. Like, oh, we want a better country. We want a good leader. We want romantic stuff. Anymore people, we can know what they're going through on the other side of the border. But I'm looking at this grocery bill. I'm hearing about them having subsidies for loans and subsidies for food. And I think they deserve a better life. But I think they might need to hold off a couple of days. I think we full. I think that's what a lot of people said at the end of the day when they got to that ballot box. Because you think, like, I guess Mexico got a lot of stuff going on where people need asylum, and a lot of us are like, you know, wanting to think about that person. And I think a lot of people say, you know what, tonight I don't have room to think about that person. I think that's what happened. Which is I don't know. That groupthink would tell you, oh, we have to be ready to take on these people. And somebody was like, I don't know, dog. I think y'all selling me a dream.
Because like I said before, Black America is educated now.
It's not the
60s. And they're educated. They're entrepreneurs. They're making money, and bruh, they're looking at tax breaks. They're looking at
profit and loss statements.
They're looking at
like,
financial investments. All that.
Hey.
How many people jumped into crypto the last 10 years? And do you think when your boy said, "Oh yeah, he's gonna make a play with crypto"? What you think? I'm sitting on half of a Bitcoin. You think I don't want my Bitcoin to jump up? You don't think I want my Ethereum to jump up? Like,
go past 100. Let's go.
Yeah,
get that Ethereum up to 5. Let's go.
Like, man, I'm about to go from 1,000 there to 100,000 there. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man.
Yeah, and so I think a lot of us, not me, but a lot of people was like, look, I want the next man to do well. But what y'all selling me is you want me to think about the next man instead of my own. Mm-hmm. Nah, we were supposed to be taking care of ourselves and then helping whoever else we can help. You want me to help him instead of mine. Mm-hmm. And I think a bunch of people went into the ballot and said, nah, fam, you got the wrong one.
And then you helping the other and they're surpassing you. That's what a lot of people are looking at.
I don't think you can stomach too much of that.
Yeah.
I don't think people can stomach too much of that because this is all tax dollars. Don't forget, the Dems like to play with tax dollars. This is not money that they pulling out of their pocket. They pulling that out of my pocket. So when you start telling me you want to experiment with this new program to help the little guy, I'm like, is the little guy ever going to be me and mine? Because that's what I thought we was after. And I think a lot of people, I didn't do it, but I think a lot of people went in there and said, nah, I'm going to try this other dude. I'm going to try him. I couldn't do it, but I get it.
Man, well, I'm burnt.
Yeah.
I'm burnt on the whole thing. I'm glad it's over. I'm glad we got a little president now officially. Nobody's talking about campaigning and all that. And I promise y'all this will be for a while, hopefully, the last super political podcast for the books because we are moving into, another season and other things going on. I wanted to ask y'all this though. What are some, and this came to mind, what is some stuff y'all watching on whatever? Streaming, Netflix, whatever. What are y'all into right now currently?
Man, don't play. Love is Blind. Popping.
Yeah, Love and Blind.
Love is Blind is wild.
Yeah, that's me and wifey's joint. Love and Blind.
Man. Them people be double crossing each other. They be scared to his girl. Yo, Love is Blind.
It's in the SEAL team. SEAL team is dope.
What's that?
It's like the SEAL Team 6 kind of.
The one that took out your boy?
What it's not the actual, you know what I'm saying? Yeah,
loosely.
it's kind of based on that. It's a series called SEAL Team. So they're Navy SEALs and they're going in to all these different countries and save and rescue. I like those kind of joints. You know what I'm saying?
Those?
Yeah, but
Is it off the books? They can't, if they get caught, don't nobody know who you
some
are, that type
off
of stuff?
the books.
Black Ops?
Yeah, Black Ops, kind of deal. This last season was they was over in Mexico handling the cartels because they was China was supplying no fentanyl into the United States and all. Yeah, so it was. Yeah, I love that one.
Yeah,
hey, but don't sleep on this one though. I'm telling y'all. Hey, America, listen. Don't sleep on Elsbeth.
What's that?
Oh, don't sleep on Elsbeth.
No
dog.
idea what that is.
What is
So
that?
do y'all have you ever seen the show The Good Wife? No,
man.
So it's so
much stuff out, bro.
Yeah, and so so The Good Wife is it's a show about a lawyer, the guy Elsbeth.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
You'll like her.
Yeah.
Like high energy and come up with these wild, crazy theories and they come out. You're true. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, okay.
So it was a spinoff. She got her own show.
Gotcha.
She worked. This is season 2. Oh man, I love Elsbeth. That's me and wifey watching that.
Watching that one.
Yeah, it's a lawyer show, but yeah. I heard the Penguin is hard too.
The Penguin.
Okay.
Penguin.
This
You
is
heard
a
about that?
Batman spinoff. It's a Batman character.
and Batman's not involved in it.
Yeah.
So I'm waiting on it, but a lot of people around me watching and they like, Bookie, you gotta watch. But I like to binge watch. I don't like to wait till next week for the next.
I hear you. Me too.
You won't be ready to go.
But when I'm hearing this, Penguin is the best like superhero series they put out, bro.
I'm watching that Lord of the Rings joint. That Lord of the Rings, Ring of Power on Amazon Prime. Watching that Lord of the Rings joint. That one's pretty cool. But you got to be into that little world.
Yeah. Lord of the Rings was dope.
Yeah. Ring of Power is pretty hot.
I got 2
What you want,
stories, but we talking about the stuff that we was watching. And I was just watching this when I went to, because one thing I do like is like when I do travel, that's when I watch the most TV. It's just like I focus. I don't like to sleep on planes either because I don't usually get the best sleep. So even if it's a red eye, nigga, I'll sleep all day just to be up all night on the plane, but I'm going to be watching something. And this go round, bruh, comedian Tim Robinson, oh my goodness, this white boy be having me crying. But he did a sketch show I used to talk about all the time. The sketches was just off the hook called I Think You Should Leave.
Yeah.
And I just randomly found them. Both of these is on Netflix. And I just looked at the picture and I was like, this look like a fool. And boy, I struck gold. Nigga, the first sketch of that I Think I Should Leave. This is like season 1, the first one. This nigga does a job interview. And he just wrong. But he gonna play like he right through the whole thing, right? And so he getting up to leave from the interview, and he's trying to leave and opening the door the wrong way. He's supposed to be pushing it out, and the owner of the place was interviewing him, and he was like, "I think the door goes the other way," and he's like, "Nah, I come in here all the time," and he just pulls the door, he breaks it, and the whole thing. It makes sense. Like a lot of the sketches would be like, "I think you should leave." Like you would want somebody to say that at this point, right? So I went through that season. That was funny. So here I am finna take a trip. I'm like, man, I'm finna look and see what's going. And I see his face again on this show that's obviously been out. People, I'm late to the party because it looked like it was coming on Comedy Central at some point. But it's called Detroiters.
Okay.
And he just plays a guy where his father has gone, who just went crazy, who owned an advertising agency. He took over. And his best friend is a black dude. Man, this joint was so funny because his best friend is a black dude since he was kids, but he ended up marrying his black friend's sister, which is his wife, and they live right across from each other, but they struggling. So his advertising agency is doing all the bootleg commercials. Like you think about all the bootleg, like lawyers, all the people with furniture stores, like
barbecue furniture dude.
Exactly. Like
massage or something. Barbecue massage.
Yeah, exactly.
Them.
So he producing. When he owned the agency, he was doing all big clients and all that. So the premise is kind of funny, but
ain't that the show that this? You sure about that meme is from? That's him, right?
No,
you sure about that? That's him, ain't it?
That is. That's who I'm.
You ever seen it? You sure about that meme? That's him.
That show, that line of the show. You sure about that? This dude.
What show is that from? That's not from this?
It's from the skit. One of the skits where this dude trying to eat. It's lunchtime. They like, all right, he finna go eat. And then his boss come in and be like, we got to have a meeting. Yeah. And he like, dang, man, like this ain't right. So this dude, he sneaks a hot dog into the meeting and try to eat a hot dog through his sleeve. So everybody sit at the table though, and he sit down. And then somebody rat him out. He said, I think he's trying to eat while we having a meeting. And he's like, no, I'm not. And so he sucks the hot dog up and it gets stuck in his throat. He's still trying to play it off like he's not choking and dying. So that right there is like, it's like a couple episodes later. He loses his job and now he done made this thing that can suck a hot dog out your throat. So say that, man, no, it was the line he trying to eat. He choking, lose his job, but the dudes on there. Whoever put Davis, he on there. He did a cameo. The other dude that the ex-football player that used to pull his
Spice Adams.
Man.
Yes,
Spice.
Yeah,
Spice Adams.
Spice Adams does cameos on there. I mean, all kind of comics. Then he brought out old school. He even brought out Tommy from Martin.
Okay.
Come on, and then remember Tim the Two-Man Taylor? Him, but not him. His buddy. They used to be on the show. He came out. So it's funny and it's all centered in Detroit. And so he's really on certain locations in Detroit, and it's just funny. And they sit at the end of the day. They go to a bar. And there's a newscaster who does like a donkey of the day, and they be waiting for what it is. And this dude always says this, and the newscaster is famous in Detroit. And but they commercials be coming on doing the newscast, and he be like, now I usually don't say anything about commercials, but that last one he was old boy is on there from Fry People cameo, and just boy, I'm like, dude, this is funny. One of them Kev on Stage dudes, too. I can't think of his name. That be with Kev on Stage. A lot of his stuff.
Tahir or somebody like that?
No, it's not Tahir. It's one of the dudes that was roasting.
Yeah.
But he be on Kev on Stage. So it's like whoever produced this picked funny people from back in the day and up front. So, yeah, I like a good laugh, and that's been a good laugh. But this is what I want to talk about. What I told you earlier, too. Nigga, this dude was on the airplane bugging out. Bruh, he gets on the plane. He's sitting right across from me. He get on the plane. He late. He the last person to get on. But he's sitting like right up in the front area where we were, Frontier, so that's not a floss. We Frontier, right?
Front of Frontier, not a floss?
That's not a floss. Please don't. So he gets on, and then he sit down like real hard. He was like, hey, stewardess, can I get a Jack and Coke? Like, bruh, we ain't even pulled off from the airport. He was like, nah, he can't serve nobody until we up in the air. So that was a red flag one. I was like, man, we got a live one. And we leave, and it's about, I don't know, it's about almost close to 8 o'clock. So whatever. But he seemed a little tipsy already. So they already looking at him. But he has some blueprints with him, like, rolled up or whatever, but without the case. So they telling him that he got to put it up in the bin. He can't just have that on him, and he can't put it on the floor. You can't put it on the seat. And Frontier, that little front seat row area, they give you, it's 3 seats on each side, but they purposely don't let anybody sit in the middle. So you pay a little extra for that. So he think, oh, I could just sit it in the seat then. They like, no, sir, you're going to have to, put it. So he go back and forth with the stewardess. Like, he didn't put it under his shirt. He's like, come on, it don't. Like, and I'm talking about a whole blueprint this long.
Under his shirt.
Under his shirt. Like, this should be cool, right? Or whatever. They're like, sir, I'm going to have to tell you again. You're going to have to put it up. You can't, put it by your feet. And they had to go as far as to say, are you just, you're going to have to find another flight. Now, people on the plane.
Right.
So everybody's sitting there looking like, bruh, like, stop it, let it go. So he finally let it go. But then I put my little headphones on because I already know. I'm like, this is like the crying baby moment.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to hear this,
Right.
Noise canceling, hit the button, boom, I hear nobody. But what I'm listening to. And so I'm just sitting there. Now, remember, he right next to me on the left. So I'm just sitting there, and then I see one stewardess come to him, and then he just see his hands going up in the air like this, like.
Explaining and pleading his case.
Then 2 come. He still. 3 come. All 3 of them standing up here.
And you still don't know what they talking about?
I don't want to know. Because it's like, it's already, I'm getting the vibes like, don't pay this dude no attention. This dude must want to, want attention.
That's what he wants.
I'm psychoanalyzing him. I'm saying, this is a lonely man. This man is going home probably to a big house by himself. Like, this is the only attention he finna get from these people. I'm doing all of this psychoanalyzing him, right? But I don't want to hear what's going on. And I mean, now we had to stop acting like a kid. And I was like, oh, I think I want to hear this part. He was like, man, stop bothering these people, man. He like, you acting like some kid. And then he was like, man, mind your business, not your business. He said, it's my business now. I paid money for this flight just like everybody else on it. So they going off. And then the white dude, he want to act tough. He's like, oh, I don't have to hear this. Like, he going to take his seatbelt off like he finna jump rod. I was like, bruh, you don't want to go I look at the brother. I'm like, you look like you're going to lose, bruh. It was one of those, like you look clearly like you're going to lose.
Y'all ain't pulled off from the terminal.
No, we in the air already at this point.
Oh, snap.
And by the time he arguing with the brother, we in the sky already.
So the Jack and Coke dude is a white dude.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes. And so, acting real entitled, but just crazy. At one point, he telling the black stewardess, this is racial profiling. And he's claiming this because they won't serve him no drinks. They look like something wrong with you. And because at the end of it all, he was like, oh man, we've been here 5 hours and I'm still drunk. I was like, nah, I was thinking to myself, nah, you high on something. That's probably why you still acting like this. You on something that you know.
Did anybody else, did they shut the bar down or nobody got drinks?
Nigga, everybody got drinks around him. Nigga, my wife was one of them. The dude that was sitting next to him. And so he get mad because ain't nobody serving him. And then the main stewardess dude, he didn't have any ID or something. He might have put it up, but he didn't have no ID. He's like, why I can't identify this man? Why? And he was really, really digging at one of them. It was one dude and it was like 3 ladies. And so he going hard at the dude. He told him, like I said, at one point, you probably gonna be in India getting them hair plugs soon. He just roasting him, like roasting him, calling them all out his name or whatever. But the dude was keeping his composure. And then it got towards the end of the last hour of the flight. We about to descend. And then the pilot started, they moved the little cart in front of to block the front of the plane. The captains and them was coming out using the bathroom. They coming out and he's still talking to them like, I can't believe this, blah, blah, blah. But this is all based on, one, the dude told him he had to put his stuff out. I think that's where it all started, and he felt some kind of way. But the dude was just doing his job. So anyway, make the long story short, nigga, the plane stops, right? We pull up to the gate, right? And we get there. Nigga, as soon as they open that door, nigga, the police was standing there. And they walk right to your boy. They like, sir, get your stuff and go. And I'm like, he get his thing out of there.
Yeah.
And then he walk and hit that corner, and then police standing. There were like 3 police officers standing there. nigga, when everybody see them police officers, the whole plane started clapping like, woo! Like it was the end of the movie, bro. And they liked it. I was like, guess who going to jail tonight? Like, you can't be up in the sky just acting any old kind of way. Like you at a bar.
You ain't record none of this, man?
I didn't. But he right here. So I didn't.
I would have been all in it like I'm Spielberg.
There was parts where he started recording them because they weren't serving him. Like, this is discrimination. And even one of the pilots, when he came out, he was like, "Are you recording this?" Like he shouldn't have been. But they was like ignoring him. And then when they started ignoring him, I was like, they beating you at your own game because you trying to distract them and say all this crazy stuff. Now they ignoring you and they laughing and having a good time, and you really getting hot. Dang. But I ain't never seen that. Took your boy, and then the brother that he was arguing with, by the time me and T hit the little hallway, he was standing there with the police like, yeah, he did this. The brother was like,
that's who got the footage, Pookie. He probably got some footage.
Oh, somebody most definitely got some
somebody
footage.
Went live.
But
like,
I was so kicking myself in the butt like, dang, dude, especially even if you would have just got that last part, that would have been golden. But I didn't know for sure if the police was going to show up or whatever. I knew he acted a fool, but when it opened up, nigga, I was probably more shocked than he was. I was like, dang, the police finna take him for real. They not finna let him go nowhere. And I should have known it because the stewardess was like, sir, you need to, like you first.
You're first off.
You're the first off.
You're
and he
first.
like,
oh yeah, you're trying to get rid of me, I see. Mm-hmm.
So,
that's crazy.
That was.
And he was in the front where he could act a fool the whole time, huh? Just talk crazy the whole time.
It was so annoying, though, but he obviously annoyed, like, everybody. Like I told you, I did noise canceling headphones is wonderful. I wasn't hearing half the stuff he was saying. But when the brothers interjected and then they turned the lights on in the middle of the flight, I was like, oh, it's going down. I was like, dang, so don't be acting a fool in them planes. I wanted to mention this because, I have to say I must be a little bit of a super fan of the boy Dr. Eric Mason, but he made a long post. I can't read the whole post. It's like when you see somebody that you respect and they put a whole book up, you got to be like, whoa.
Man had to get something off his chest.
Exactly. He got to get something off his chest. So I looked at it and it seemed like he was talking, well, he didn't seem like, he most definitely was talking about when he wrote The Woke Church, and this kind of talks to your groupthink stuff, and how he caught so much flack for, from it, because at the time, and I remember when he wrote that term wasn't hijacked yet.
Yeah.
And then it got him of somebody saying, woke folk need to go back to sleep.
Any identity politics automatically got thrown into that bucket of, oh, you woke.
And so what he was describing is the backlash he was getting, of course, from the church. And how, people outside the church was like commending him because because he used in one of his examples, like even like the Hebrew Israelites, he was like, wow, I didn't know there were Christians out here talking against racism. And like, yeah, we do, because they don't see us nuanced like that.
Israelites said they didn't know this. They the ones that didn't know that.
Yeah, they didn't know that. They was like, wow. He was like, they was respecting him, for doing that, because of course they, believe racism is wrong too. And he was like some other, groups, but he caught more flack, and it really like drug him down into a depression. He was really, he was a certain part. He was like suicidal. He was like, it was dark, and I was like, dang. First of all, I commended him for just keeping it 1,000. And then, but me was he left all the groups.
Like what? Like what group?
So if you call yourself Reform, you call yourself, Calvinist, whatever. So he left all of them, and he was just talking about how helpful that's been. And I can imagine as a pastor, you're very tempted to be a part of those groups, because I believe even in our political season, there was certain pastors talking, real political, and I feel like some of that is to appease the groups that they are part of, the people that the churches and the movements that they have aligned themselves with, you know, kind of align themselves with a certain candidate. And so they feel like, yo, I got to, you know, speak up on it. Some of that. And, you know, I don't know. I could be wrong, but that's what it seemed like. But I think the safest place for pastors is to not be in those groups. I wish more had that thought instead of thinking that, I mean, we want you to be sound, of course. We want you to be biblical, but I don't necessarily like too much like Christian gang involvement. Yeah. 'Cause that's how I see it.
Yeah.
Like people choose sides and they choose gangs, and this gang believes in this, and it could be some of me growing up in gang culture and around and seeing how they operate. It's like you kind of start seeing similarities, like, oh, we don't mess with them. Oh, nah, they come from a different pedigree. And I think that it shouldn't be the groups that define that. I think it should be the Bible that defines that. If this person is a believer, okay, they may have some bents here and there or whatever. Right. But what I notice is because everybody is so clicked up, they might even acknowledge, okay, that we could work with him. And he has these bent towards these other things. He's majoring in that little minor there. But what I always notice that they'll say that stuff, but they won't work with them. So you keep the gangs going. It's like, yeah, y'all not going to really get together and work and do anything. And y'all can just align yourselves with all the essentials, everything that the Bible would push as an essential, Jesus being God, and the Trinity, the death, burial, resurrection, all the basic stuff. And all that other stuff, you know what I'm saying, a lot of it is debatable, and it's not, like a hill to die on. But what I don't see as a result, and maybe God don't want it that way, but what I don't see is a lot of people who have these different bents but agree on the essentials working together. I see the cliques. So I see the Reformed people working on the Reformed, the Calvinist people working with the Calvinist folks, all these different denominations just working with their denomination. And it's like, I don't know. I don't know how helpful that is. But for him to be like, I retreat, that's just somebody I respect. But for him to be like, I retreated from all of them. And you can kind of tell. Like when I watch his stuff and hear his preaching now, he seems a little bit more liberated, a little bit more free. And if he wants to go into a song during the middle of his preaching, he will or whatever. And I don't know, I just think more pastors should, I don't know, really take a look at that.
It's a trip. It's to me, it's like what we always talk about with like, I think we all are kind of like considered free spirits in our circles. Like we know that everybody around us knows that we have strong opinions about things, but we cannot be controlled. I think that's something that we all enjoy. I hear you, and I still feel the way I feel. And he'll do the same thing to me, and he'll know, okay, I heard you out. Strong points. I still can't vote for the man. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And we'll try. And Jay, you do the same thing. You'll have a totally different perspective. Like, I thoroughly am convinced that all this stuff is rigged, and I can't talk you off that ledge. And I think that's more interesting. That you'll hear me out. You'll say, I see what you're saying. You ain't changing my mind though. And I think more of us are doing that in different spaces. Like that's what I hear. E. Mace basically saying is like, listen, at the end of the day, y'all not gonna get me off my square. This is how I feel. If you can't handle how I feel, let's still try to come together. But if how I feel really messes with you and you can't really rock with me, I can live with that.
Yep.
I can live with that. And so many people that we look up to, or maybe I should say it like this, so many people that impacted the world, they had to go through that season where they realized, oh yeah, I got to stop asking other people to see what I see. I just got to go ahead and do this because I can't see myself not going through with this, whatever this is. Maybe you do music a certain way. Maybe you do ministry a certain way. And you've decided that whatever the group think is over on this side, I just can't sleep at night giving into that. So I'm just going to courage. But I also think that that's like, it's a season where you realize like, dang, I'm not going to be as understood as I really thought.
Or accepted.
Accepted is not fun either. But understood to me seems a little more damaging.
I think the thing is
Because I've
that
thought through what I believe.
yeah, but I think a lot of people are now. Before, where you really couldn't say nothing about certain situations.
Yeah.
Now people are just coming out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like before, you really didn't talk about racism within the church. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You're right.
And now people are talking about it.
You're right.
You really didn't talk about like the adultery in the church and different things going on, the fornication, all these different things. But now people are talking about it.
Yeah.
Well, we got phones. We've never been able to talk with so many people that think like us.
Yeah. And another thing is that now a lot of people, I don't want to use the word exposed, but a lot of people you are seeing a lot of people for who they are or what they do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so, it's causing people to react a certain way now. And they're just like, you know what? Hey, this been going on. What me said.
Yeah.
You
And
thought you had allies and you let them
Deuces.
talk long enough, you start to realize, we were never allies at all.
Yeah.
So I really don't have nothing to lose. Let me go ahead and go on to the house. Because we didn't have nothing to begin
Shut
with.
up and preach.
And I think one of the reasons that I really like
Yep.
Eric Mason's work is because he's helping a believer like me who's black in America. We have a history of racism here that we struggle with. And when it comes to church, there is unfortunately, it's no different. There are some struggles there when it comes to racism because there are people who in this country they've been a part of the dominant culture. And so, and I understand their perspective now. So it's hard for them to kind of see my side of the street sometimes, even within the church, because you've lived in a culture that kind of is bent towards you. And so you don't see as many problems. But you have your brothers and sisters who have seen these challenges or whatever. And there came a time where it's like the book I'm reading now that Mason has something to do with as well. It's called The Whole Man. It's him and like two other people. And it's not a book. It's actually like like a devotion. But it's a devotion that's geared towards black men with some of the unique challenges that we face. I think it's helpful because you can read a lot of books that are not written by your culture within the church, and they have a lot of good biblical things, but I love the example that they gave in this. But it's kind of like love songs. Mm-hmm. Like we can appreciate love songs created by all kinds of people, but when you hear the ones that have your aesthetics in it and they're using imagery that you kind of relate to in your culture, you like it. That doesn't mean you hate those other people's and those other cultures' love songs. Actually, we'll like some of those too. Yeah. You know what I mean? But it's good when you hear yourself as well. It's encouraging. And they were just saying that there's some help and things like that are needed within these different tribes and all that. He created all of it, right?
Right.
So if it's in your tribe's tongue and they're just talking about things it's
sound
helpful.
like God.
It's helpful. And we, again, back to growing up in a culture where it could be, predominantly, Caucasian, it's refreshing sometimes to hear things that bring up your culture and references that you relate to. You start talking about a different world and you're like, oh yeah, I remember that show and things like that were geared towards, your culture. You relate. And it's like, that's not to say that, you can't learn something from a different ethnicity. It's just that if you're living in a space where there's a dominant culture, and you just have to kind of roll with that for years and years, and you realize, okay, there's some people who look like me and talk like me who are saved too, and you come across their material, you like, oh man, this is good too. It's very helpful. But like Buki was saying, we weren't talking about that a minute ago. Yeah, and I think it's because it brings up America's ugly past.
You went through some of that, hear about, and you shouldn't be feeling away. Like, I don't know if we should be talking like that. Well, maybe you shouldn't be talking like that. But my man over here has a real thing that he's going to talk about and help somebody else that's like him.
Absolutely.
So you don't have to agree. You don't have to rock with it. Can you just stay out the way?
Yeah.
That's really what I think.
Absolutely.
But before you get to that point where you just tell people, I don't need you to agree. I need you to move to the left a little bit so I can do what I'm doing. Before you usually get to that stage, what I've noticed from other people way far down the road than us is first you have to come to that like Elijah moment where you're like, man, it feels like it's just me. It don't feel like nobody else gets this.
Yeah.
And you get to that place and Elijah was like, I don't want to be here no more. Just take me out.
Yeah.
Elijah was at that space where he just like, just kill me, bro. If this how it's going to be, just kill me. Because he felt so alone. And God had to remind him, you're not alone.
Yeah.
I got plenty of people, but y'all spread out. Y'all not going to all be huddled up together. So you just you got work to do, Elijah. Like first he let Elijah express himself. He's like, what's wrong? What's wrong? And he let Elijah get that stuff off his chest. And this is all in 1 Kings, whatever. Our pastor was talking about it today. He let Elijah get that stuff off his chest. What's wrong? I'm out here trying to do my thing. Nobody helping me. All that. Get that off your chest. You got work to do. I need you to go over here and do this. To let them know, like, okay, that happened. You're sad. I get it. But I still have work for you to get done. And that's usually how the process sounds to me when, like, the E-Masons and different people talk about the process. They see the vision before most of the people around them. They try to carry it out. They find out everybody else don't see this. That's what makes you the visionary. That's depressing to find out, like, dang, it's going to be a lonely road. Yes, my child, it's going to be a lonely road. Now get up and get on the lonely road and get that done because you got work to do. And I love that.
Yeah, and like that book, like The Whitewashing of Christianity.
Yeah.
It's like, I mean, I can understand how a title is shocking, but if you understand, first of all, the history of Christianity in this country and how people abused it and how, again, the dominant culture for so long saw it and pushed it a certain way, it caused some problems. And we would see these things and we would see it in the music, in the Christian music industry. We would see it, in the books that were published. We would see it in the white Jesus paintings. And we was not right, but we didn't camp out there and we just had to live through it or what have you. And we just went on. And then, at a certain point, we just decided to address it. It hit. You can blame like the George Floyd things and all this kind of stuff came in the Black Lives Matter movement. All this stuff started bubbling up culturally, and it made us look at some of the issues that was going on in the church. And now on the other side of all that stuff and all the stuff that E. Mason and all them and his clique has produced has been very helpful for me because it's somebody telling the truth. And it was like, I knew I wasn't crazy.
Yep.
I knew I wasn't crazy. This stuff is off, and here's why. And they can,
I've been with E. Mason's day one. That's my guy.
Yeah.
And that stuff has just been helpful, and it's encouraged me to go, hey, there's some mess, but I hate to say it, James, but God is still on the throne. It's a good time to use that line.
Here we go. That joint need a break. Like they not like us. We need I need a 6 months.
Man,
you can't use that.
Hey, but you know what? To go back to what you said,
like
boys, right? Called it's a radio show. Played the Gloria in Newbury Park, right?
Yeah. I think our boy Jason at church knows about it. The other Jason.
Okay, yeah. So
told me about this.
Okay, yeah. So I know him, whatever. And me and him, we had like dinner together one night, and we were talking, and he wanted me to introduce him to my pastor and assistant pastor, right?
Yeah.
He's in Newbury Park.
Yeah.
So, and he does a lot of conventions, and he goes around talking across the country to different things.
Yeah.
But he wanted to talk to my pastor and them because he wanted to know the plight of the black church in the hood.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because they really don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like what the church in the hood really goes through.
Yeah.
Because, he's flying around the country. He's talking predominantly to predominantly white churches. Sure. You know what I'm saying?
Suburban, probably.
Yeah. And I mean, he's from Newberry Park. You know what
I
I'm
hear
saying?
you.
know,
That's like what, Thousand Oaks? What is that? Where is that?
Thousand Oaks
Okay.
area. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
You know,
Yeah.
that's bread over.
That's-
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Over
Yeah.
there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so, he wanted me to introduce them so they can talk because he wants to interact with the hood because almost like a study project
I hear you.
to find out like what goes on in the hood in the church.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And saying all that to say, like you were saying, like some of our white counterparts have like good intentions,
Yeah.
but they just don't understand what's going on with us.
Yeah, they don't know.
Yeah.
They don't know. They really
They're not in your
really
community.
don't know
Yeah.
because like you said, they're not in the community. Bro.
Do you know what the Asian church is going through in LA right now?
Exactly. I was going to say that.
I've never.
Exactly.
I have no idea.
Exactly. And the only time we find out is when we are neighbors and we are spending time with people who are outside of our culture and we who are believers and they start telling you and you're like, oh, what's going on? Other than that, why would you check in? You're miles away from people. You're not living over there. You have no idea.
Right.
And so I don't feel bad when people have no idea what's going on in the hood. They don't live over here. They're why. And one thing that it was so funny because it was a dude when I was out in Atlanta that had moved from like San Diego. It was a couple of people there. They had there, and so true. Who is like, you'll see like, and when he said that, I'm like, that's true. You'll go to the mall, you'll see all kind of different people, but everybody's still kind of separate, and they ain't really hanging
Going
out.
their separate ways when they leave, huh?
Yeah, and so it's like, you'll see, like, if you took pictures and video of us, you'd be like, oh, it's multicultural and but really everybody just be hanging out with, the people that they familiar with, you know what I mean? And you got some exceptions in certain places, but it's because you got different ethnicities living together. That's why you're seeing that. So, like, for instance, like a place like Venice, you'll see a mixture. You still see predominantly white folks, but you'll still see a mixture of like the poor whites because it's a lot.
The hippies is in Venice.
Yes, super hippies and some people of color there. I was trying to think of a better example.
Black hippies in Venice.
Exactly, but for the most part, here we segregated, and people as much as we try to make Southern California feel like, oh, it's liberal, like everybody hanging. Nah, I remember comedian Paul Mooney before he died pointing that out. He's like, Hollywood. He's like, these people over here, these people over there, these people. It's just like that's just how it is. It's not like New York is a little different. New York is like we stuck together. There's certain parts where it's like, where they all on top of each other.
Yeah.
So we gonna see each other. But you think about it, that'll probably make them more sensitive, to each other. Maybe not. It's still racist people everywhere on both sides. There's some racist black people I know that just can't stand white folks. That's just how it go. But the reality is, when we do live together, that's when you start caring about other people. When they coming over your house and having dinner, you going over their house, and that's how we get into each other's world.
Because you just feel the tension when you go. You see a group of white people and you like, man, I wonder if they racist.
Yeah.
And then you get the vibe. They're looking at you like, man, they about to run up in this store. They about to rob us. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just the vibe.
That it is. It is the divide, and you don't experience anything different because it could be different. Like in our work environments too. Our work environments can force multiculturalism, culturalism, if I'm saying that right. Because you're working with different cultures, and you're seeing each other every day. And if y'all are talking and y'all really open and y'all start going out to lunch and all that, then there's that room for sensitivity because you're hanging out and you're hearing their home life, and you're seeing how you're more alike than different as well.
It humanizes. Like, they're regular.
If not, we're all stuck with our stereotypes,
the caricature,
of other people,
which you're getting from Power and stuff like that. You're not getting it from real life. You get it from 50 shows, and that was the thing I'm gonna say that really got me with Georgia, because I was seeing a lot of people out, different cultures out eating, but it's because they stuck with each other.
they living with each other too in the same neighborhoods. And so it is what it is. And that thing that you're talking about where you like, you keep pulling up and you feeling like, oh man, these people are racist or whatever. One thing, and I'm pretty sure, we talking about the South, so I'm pretty sure there's some racist people somewhere, but most of it was crazy, that feeling of it was predominantly black, so I wasn't thinking that. So I was pulling up and people were like, hey baby, how you doing? Hey sweetie, how y'all doing? Blah, blah, blah. And I'm not going through, man, you being nice and you really racist type of stuff. And I will say this, because when I fell up into a Publix, it was this way too. It was, predominantly white people working in this Publix, and they was all super nice. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if it's just, Southern hospital. I didn't feel like, oh, they being racist or whatever. Mm-hmm. It's sad because I felt most of that being here. Mm-hmm. But a lot of that is because I like to move around in the city, Bookie. I know you do too. I like to go eat all different places. Your food is good, I'm showing up. I don't really care where it is. But that does mean I might be the minority there sometimes. And you can't help but be like, I wonder if these people are racist or whatever. And it's, and because I don't live with them, I don't know. I don't know how y'all feeling.
This man took me to Orange County for some donuts one time.
Why not?
That donut changed my life too.
That's what I'm saying.
It was worth the trip. It was
worth. You remember that? Is just
for some donuts.
You know what I mean? And
Jones
then
was right.
But you gotta go, and it's sad.
MAGA County.
You either for us, where's yes, the county. Where it's predominantly black, unfortunately, in Southern California, is sometimes the hood. And then I remember back in the 80s, it used to be like Ladera, which is kind of a little bit Baldwin Hills, when Magic and them still lived up there and all that. Us. You know what I mean? And that would feel like us. You would see that in that area, and Lamert is still like that.
West Adams.
You know what I'm saying? And being over there, you'd be like, oh, but that's a small little area. And then, but when you want to go to Hollywood or, West LA and all that, it starts to be predominantly all kind of other people. And
everybody but us.
Everybody but us. But it's like, that's not going to, it never stopped me to wanting to go to the movies maybe in that area. If it's like at the new theater over there, my brother was big on that. Exactly. All that. That's not predominantly us.
That's not us, but I'm over there.
It's nice. It's some cool stuff over there. So you're going to visit, but it's like I don't know, man. If like I would be out there in Atlanta, we'd go in the city, and because I'm from LA, and I see all these big houses, bruh. Mm. And I be like, man, I know I'm like in a white neighborhood now. And it's like, no, that's what you feel like. And then you drive around, you seeing all these black people coming out and they cutting their grass and they just being normal. And you like, oh, because my cousin stays in Decatur, and it looked like Brentwood. You know what I'm saying? And they got trees everywhere. That stuff and it's fall time, so everything looking fly. I'm seeing all these fly cars, and I'm pulling up, and I'm like, oh, this must be white folks' neighborhood, because I'm programmed that way. I'm from LA. Yeah. And then I look, man, little black boy come out shooting hoops in his, street. It ain't busy, because like I said, it got that Brentwood vibe, so it ain't a bunch of cars coming through. And all the lawns well kept and all this. And I'm like, I can get used to this, bro.
You heard the birds chirping?
Heard the birds chirping. Now I went to my brother-in-law stay out there. Nigga, did I see that bird chirping? He told us we were seeing his crib for the first time. And we just sitting there. We wasn't out there 1 minute. Nigga, and 2 deer just come out of the trees. Like, nigga, something in a nature show. I'm like, nigga, this is fly. Just on the strip.
Wait till the nighttime when you can see the stars.
I know.
I forgot stars existed.
Because I'm from the city now.
I used to helicopters. I forgot stars existed.
And we would go, like, you got to go out of the inner city. You got to go. We got to go to doggone places like Big Bear to see that, because it's not like we don't have it, but you most definitely got to go out of the city to see them stars. You got to go on one of them camping trips to see the stars. You be like, oh, we do have stars, and that's one thing I can say about Cali. We have all of the landscapes that you can enjoy.
Oh, yeah.
We have every little landscape. You want to go to the mountains, you can go to the mountains. You want to go to the beach, we got that. You want to go to the desert, it's all here in the same.
Off-road,
all that. That
Shoot, you
is.
can do all that in
Rivers.
one day.
Yes.
You can
And
go snowing. Go skiing in the snow. Then 3 hours later, you can be at the beach surfing.
you can be at the beach
You
surfing.
hit the lake if you need to.
You can do
Yeah, all the tools.
Dude, Neek, but on
Those places that feels like if you from LA, you'll make it. You'll enjoy that. It's not a lot of places if you're a LA native that I think if you like the LA nightlife, the LA food options, and all that type of stuff that you really paying for, besides the beach. If you can live without the beach, Atlanta is one of those places you can enjoy.
it's just, but
It's
they
one
have
of them joints.
so many different communities, and it's like it's just super chill. It's not like the pace is different. That's the
That's what I was about
big
to
difference.
say. That's what I would enjoy the most is the change of pace, like the
It's-
relaxed vibes.
It is.
Don't
bro.
feel rushed. I ain't gotta. You know what I'm saying? Just like chill, relax.
I was there for a week. I was borrowing my cousin's car, so I did a lot of driving myself. Dude, I was only cut off probably 2 times the whole time I was there because people not rushing that fast. You know what I mean? I was driving super slow just because I'm like, oh, this the pace. It's all good. And I remember when my sister-in-law came here a few months ago, and she just did not like driving around. She's like, why do y'all drive so
Had an old lady on the way up here. Come on, old lady.
And then you got
I felt
cut up.
bad after I saw the old lady. Like, dang, Jay, why you like this?
It's our pace. It's just
Yeah,
our
yeah.
culture. Everybody gonna have that, and it's just a fast pace. And when you go somewhere else where it's kind of like much slower, like why y'all driving so slow? Y'all ain't.
LA causes anxiety, bro. Like, I'm quite sure, like 8 out of 10 LA cats got anxiety.
I believe that. I believe that.
Real.
I believe that. I believe that. Well, fellas, I think that's our time. We most definitely appreciate you. If you're listening right now, you made it this far. We most definitely got love for you. Be on the lookout. I most definitely will be begging y'all. I'll remind y'all again of this video shoot. I'm inviting all y'all listeners, all 3 of y'all, to come out and hang with us this Sunday. And I'll put the stuff up and on the book and I don't know. I don't want no weirdos popping up, especially we've been talking favorably. I don't want just anybody showing up, but I appreciate y'all listening. Any closing words, fellas? If not, we're gonna toast on out.
The new dance, the Trump dance. That's
Man,
gonna be the dance of the 2025.
Man, can you run my joint one time for Miss Kamala one more time?
Let me bring that up. But yes, that Trump dance.
The Trump dance.
That Trump dance, first of all, was hilarious. I remember when he did that during his presidency. I don't know what it was, and I put some more music to it. I remember that joint.
This all I got to say is we close.
I was rooting for you. We were all rooting for you. How dare you?
All right, y'all, let's raise a toast. We hit. This is your drink. And it goes. We all fall, but we say don't trip. We all been called, but all stall a bit. We all stand tall until that time we slip. Just admit, without the grace of God, I'm really bad at this.